Live from the Titans Soccer Complex on the Eastern Florida's Melbourne campus, it's the 2015 NJCAA Division I Women's Soccer Championship game number 4 with the number 12 seed Spartanburg Methodist Pioneers battling the top overall seed and host Eastern Florida State College. Next. It's the game of day one that all the locals have been looking forward to. The host team and top overall seed, Eastern Florida State College, opens up their national title run here at home in Melbourne, Florida. The 14-0 Titans, the number 1 seed, taking on the 13-7 12th-seeded Spartanburg Methodist Pioneers. We welcome you back into the broadcast. Thanks for joining us here on NJCAA TV. Nick Runowitz here, sideline in Melbourne as we get ready for our final game of day one here off the east coast of the Sunshine State. Spartanburg and Eastern Florida ready to get things going. Let's check out our players to watch here between these two, the 12th and 1 seeds, and we'll start with Spartanburg Methodist. Number 6, Sarah Dorsett, the midfielder, sophomore from Travelers Rest, South Carolina. 22 goals, 7 assists this year. She's going to be one that's going to try to set the tone for a potential upset. As for Eastern Florida, a pair of Spaniards really proved to be the problem, and one of them, number 9, Paula Astirazaran, the freshman from San Sebastian, Spain. The forward, a school record 25 goals this season with 20 assists to go along with it. She has been an absolute terror for opposing defenses. Let's check out the starting 11s for both of the squads. Eastern Florida on your right, Spartanburg on your left. As you can see, Steph Barreras in goal for this Eastern Florida State team, has allowed just 8 goals this year in 14 games. The coaches for this matchup, let's take a look at the two guys that are overseeing these squads. Spartanburg Methodist, Dan Kennelly is in his 18th season, a 4-time Region 10 Coach of the Year. This guy's had a very interesting pathway to Spartanburg Methodist, especially be the head coach of the women's soccer team. We'll talk about that. And the all-time winningest head coach in Titans history, Jeff Carr, is in his 6th season, 71 wins to just 12 losses and 5 ties. Referees for this one here today, Jasmine Peralta, Brian Bauer, and Anya Voigt will be the ones down there calling this matchup as the Titans take on the Pioneers. We're just about ready for first touch between these two squads, Eastern Florida State College and Spartanburg Methodist, as they walk out onto the field to get things ready to go. Eastern Florida coming off a region championship, but they've talked quite a bit after winning Region 8 that the job is not done yet. And, well, for Jeff Carr and squad, I just mentioned the all-time winningest head coach in Eastern Florida State College history. It has been all about Saturday night's game for them this season. They have wanted to come out. They have wanted to get a victory in that game. They want to be national champions. It all opens up here tonight, right at home, where they're hosting this tournament in Melbourne, Florida. I mentioned Steph Barrera. She's in goal for this team, and the two Spaniards, the ones to keep an eye on, Paula, who we spotlit, and Julia Hernandez, the other one, a 3-time champion with the Spanish women's national team, 22 goals and 12 assists this season. As for the Spartanburg team, Spartanburg Methodist from South Carolina, they've traveled a long way, and they may be the 12 seed, but the attitude of this team is not just, well, we're here to have fun, play 2 games in Florida, maybe check out the beach on the East Coast. They're here thinking about upset. Dan Kennelly has his team ready to go, the director of soccer and head women's soccer coach. 177 wins. He has guided this program to a 13-7 record this year, and the girl to keep an eye on this team that we did talk about was Sarah Dorsett, 22 goals, 7 assists this year. They're going to start Laura Jackson between the pipes. This is the first time this Spartanburg Methodist team has made it to the national championship, so something to keep in mind as we get to know this Pioneers team for the first time on the national stage. They have not made it to this level quite yet. Region 10 champions. They beat Harford Community College just last week in order to advance to this tournament. And that avenged a loss in their region tournament a season ago. So breaking barriers has very much been the theme for this Spartanburg Methodist team as they get ready to take on the top overall seed. That would be another barrier to break if they can come up with a victory to open up day one of this tournament here today. We're ready to go. The Spartanburg Methodist Pioneers, the Eastern Florida State College Titans here in Melbourne, Florida. And the thing to keep in mind as well, no lower seeded team. The road team on the scoreboard has not scored a goal yet today. So the home teams have been all over it here on day one. Spartanburg Methodist will look to change that. Of course, Eastern Florida, one of the deadliest offenses in all of women's soccer this season, led by those two Spaniards. And, of course, we'll tell you about the two sisters, Abby and Brianna Camargo, as this game does go on. Let's take a look at the uniforms as well. Spartanburg off to your left. As you take a look at them there, blue jerseys, white shorts, high blue socks with the white numbers on the back. As for Eastern Florida State, they're in their normal home unis as they do open up this tournament here at home, playing in those white jerseys and blue shorts, white piping, high white socks as well for this team. Eastern Florida undefeated. Perfection has very much been the theme of the year. And Jeff Carr has tried to keep his team motivated as they get ready to open things up here once again. So as we get things ready to go here, it was scheduled for about a 5:30 kickoff. This day has been just beautiful here on day one of the tournament. We have not seen any rain, of course, knock on wood. We have had partly cloudy skies, some beautiful weather, great temperature. It's been a beautiful start to a beautiful, what hopes to be a very exciting and even dramatic weekend as we get ready to go. The Spartanburg Methodist Pioneers and the Eastern Florida State College Titans. So they'll break out, get things ready to go. As I mentioned, Steph Badetta's between the pipes for this Eastern Florida team. In 14 games this year, she's allowed just 8 goals, and Eastern Florida will get first touch to start things off here. It should be an exciting start to this one. The locals, as I mentioned on the open, all abuzz today as they waited for this game to get started and for their girls to start off this tournament. As Julia Hernandez will knock it back and Eastern Florida State will control to start things off. They'll move from right to left across your screen in those white jerseys and blue shorts. This ball knocked out of bounds. And we'll come back to the near sideline. Here are your starters. Steph Badetta's between goal. They'll have Jay Bales, Paula Astira-Zaran, Julia Hernandez, Khadija Shaw, Haley Cook, Helen Ramsey, Brianna Camargo, Abby Camargo, Serena Delgado, and Arnelia Cordick. As this one already collected by Steph Badettas. We'll get you Spartanburg's starters in just a minute here as well. Barreras booms this one long and a one hop out of bounds out the near side. Spartanburg will collect from here. Kalia Hargrave will handle it and toss this ball back in. Spartanburg Methodist, they can get on the scoreboard. They score quite a few goals, but they are the lowest seeded team in this tournament. Of course, the number 12 team taking on the number 1. We've seen 8 teams of the collection of 12 here today. We'll see the other 4 tomorrow. The way this pool play ends up working out, 4 pools, 3 teams. Of course, while 2 teams in a pool play, the other one must sit. So there's a day off for one team each, at least in these. Well, there's one day off for each team in the first 3 days. We're all off on Thursday, and then the winners of the pools advance on Friday. Here's an opportunity. Julia Hernandez has it poked away, and Eastern Florida will keep possession. Toss in here. Hernandez has it taken away. This ball knocked back out, and Eastern Florida will chunk it out the near sideline here. That done by Haley Cook, the defender. One of 2 defenders on this team that started all 16 games in 2014. Jeff Carr returned a lot this year, but also went out and added some difference makers. We talk about both of those Spaniards, Paula and Julia Hernandez. They're both freshmen. 1 and 2 on the team in goals scored this year. 25 for Paula Astida-Zaran, that's a school record. 22 for Julia Hernandez. This ball in, controlled. And a toss ahead for Julia Hernandez, who has to wait for it or be off sides. And it's punched back out of bounds once again. Arnella Kordick will toss this in, the Jacksonville, Florida native, on the near sideline here. This one rejected back out, waiting for it was Julia Hernandez. Wanted to see if that one would roll out. Eastern Florida controls. This is Jay Bales pushing to that far side. This ball taken away by Spartanburg Methodist. They can move the ball. Do not be fooled by the number 12 seeding. This one intended up ahead for Sierra Wilson. Just a little bit too long. She couldn't quite get to it. And here's the toss in. This one controlled by Khadijah Shaw, one of the 2 Jamaican natives that play for this Eastern Florida squad, the other Nicole Broderick. Ball controlled by the Titans for now. Punched back by Spartanburg. And here come the Pioneers. On that far side, this is Kayla McMillan. Trying to turn that corner. McMillan gets a step. That ball will roll out the touchline, and it'll be turned back over to Eastern Florida. And Steph Badetis will go back to work here as she keys it out. This ball out into the bench. Not sure exactly where Eastern Florida was going with that. It must have been deflected. Serena Delgado will toss it in for the Titans, who control. Another ball will roll out of bounds and another throw in coming here. Spartanburg Methodist controls. Here's a high, long kick. This ball headed back towards the end of the box here and out the touchline. That long ball out there intended for Sierra Wilson, the freshman from Summerville, South Carolina. Went to Summerville High School. Steph Badetis from Phoenix, Arizona, played for the under-20 Mexican women's national team. Has had a very nice first season, the freshman for this Eastern Florida team, en route to that perfect 14-0 record. They have not let up all year long. Now, it's one thing to talk about being perfect. It's another thing to go out and do it where you're getting everyone's best shot day in and day out. And that's exactly what's happened to this Eastern Florida team as they made their way through the regional tournament. Region 8 champions. You can finish the regular season, go to the Region 10 tournament, make it Region 8 tournament and lose, and not go anywhere from there. Despite the top overall ranking this team carried with it for most of the season. This ball let back. Eastern Florida back on the attack. Here's a long ball, this one for Julia Hernandez. A real opportunity here. Hernandez on the run, working with the right foot. This lofting kick, that one is going to find the back of the net. It's a goal. Laura Jackson came out to try to play it. That was the wrong move. Julia Hernandez lofted it in, and the Spaniard has Eastern Florida on top 1-0. Let's take another look. Goal number 23, Julia Hernandez. Good pacing. Waiting, lofting it right over the top of Laura Jackson. It's 1-0. We're just about 7 minutes into the first half, and Julia Hernandez has her 23rd goal of the season, 2 back of the team leader, Paula Astida-Zaran. You got to think that these two are pacing each other just a little bit, a friendly competition as this season continues to push on. It's what keeps you motivated as well in a year like this, keeps you sharp. Spartanburg Methodist looking to answer. Here's Sierra Wilson. Has it knocked away. That goal was so nice. Let's look at it twice. A different angle here on this one. Julia Hernandez on the run to the right side. Checks for the defender. And perfect timing there as she lifts it up over the top of Laura Jackson, who came in. It might have been the right play to come out. She was just a moment late, and it was played well by Julie Hernandez. Corner kick first of the game for Spartanburg Methodist. That ball headed back out. Christina Early with the corner kick. Another opportunity as she sends this one in there, and Badetis will handle it. Wants to start things quickly. She'll roll it out. Jay Bales up ahead. They were looking for Abby Camargo, and that ball out the sideline. Believe they called the foul. They did. Eastern Florida will keep the possession. We do thank you for joining us here at NJCAA TV. Nick Grunowitz in Melbourne, Florida, off the east coast of the Sunshine State. Day one of the NJCAA Women's Soccer Championships. This is the fourth and final game of the day. Top-seeded Eastern Florida taking on 12th-seeded Spartanburg Methodist. It's a 1-0 lead early. And once again, Julia Hernandez goes back to work. She's denied. That ball out the near sideline. Last touched by Spartanburg. Arnella Kordick will throw this one in from deep in the corner. She's fronted by Sierra Wilson. They get it into Julia Hernandez. Nifty move there by Julia. She looks to turn the corner. Up to the top. Good stop. This is Camargo. To the top, Khadijah Shaw. Her shot saved by Laura Jackson. Khadijah Shaw put a lot on that, and the Jamaican native just couldn't quite sneak it by Laura Jackson, who had a nice save diving to her right there. And a long booming kick controlled by Eastern Florida at midfield. Backing out Lexi Garcia. Eastern Florida able to retake control there. Near side, here's Brianna Camargo. And her pass deflected. Let's take a look at that opportunity once again. First of all, Camargo, little okey doke there, will send it back to the top, and Khadijah Shaw unloads on this one. And unfortunately for Eastern Florida, Laura Jackson able to dive in front of that one and make the save. Nice move there by Jackson. Able to read, diving to the right. Here's one touch back to the top of the box. They leave it out. Abby Camargo ready to go to work. Little hesitation. Good defense by Christina Early. She stays in front. Touched back. Here's Kordick. Has it taken away. Spartanburg Methodist looking to push. Shaw. One touch, Jay Bales. Abby Camargo leaves it back. Opposite side, that is Bone with it. Look at Beth Ann Jones, who's out there. And Khadijah Shaw spent some time, missed a couple of games for this Eastern Florida team playing for the Jamaican women's national team, the under-20 team. Played for that under-20 team a few times, was the MVP of the CFU under-20 women's championship team. Khadijah Shaw, 8 goals this year. And Jeff Carr has just put together a very deep team. Behind Shaw, Nicole Broderick waits as well, another talented goal scorer. There's the man right there, Jeff Carr, in his 6th season, 71-12-5, but he wants a championship. Here's an opportunity for Eastern Florida. Abby Camargo, nice little stop and go, kept possession. She's pushed off the ball. Good defense by Spartanburg Methodist. Long kick ahead. Really into no man's land out there. They were looking for Kalia Hargrave, the sophomore from Anderson, South Carolina, but she couldn't get to it. Eastern Florida will work it up the near sideline. Here's Kordick. Brianna Camargo has it deflected. Goes out of bounds, and Spartanburg Methodist will take possession. Hargrave will toss it in. Here's a push ahead. Julia Hernandez has to hold up because she knows she's offside, and that's exactly what the call is. Julie already with 1 goal. That's the difference here. Her 23rd of the season. Hargrave will boot this one away once again. Little back touch there from Lexi Garcia. Thought she could fool the defense. This one deflected, and Julia Hernandez with another free run. Here she goes. Was successful the last time. This time, it's Laura Jackson who's able to come out and deflect it. Perhaps another opportunity for Eastern Florida State, though. Brianna Camargo working with the nifty footwork. Little back touch here. Centering pass up to the top of the box. Hernandez can't get a foot on it. And it's back up to Khadijah Shaw. Winds up, fires, blocked away by the Pioneers defense. And out to the far side, the Pioneers are going to try to change direction quickly, and they couldn't quite do it. Lost out that far side. But another free run for Julia Hernandez almost results in a goal for Eastern Florida, but a nifty play by Laura Jackson. Same play as before, just was right on top of that one and able to knock it away. Here's Khadijah Shaw. Ball at the top of the box. Shaw looks to fire that one in. Here's Kordick. Here's Astida Zaran. Paula. We're going to fire it into the box, and it's deflected. And Kalia Hargrave will get that one out of there. Shaw. Camargo. That would be Brianna. Kordick with a nifty move there. Got some oohs and ahs from the crowd on that change of direction. Middle of the pitch, Jay Bales with that left knee brace. And Spartanburg Methodist will take control. Wait a minute, Khadijah Shaw with a nifty takeaway there. Eastern Florida 14-0. Spartanburg Methodist 13-7. They're looking to play spoiler to open up this tournament. Trailing 1-0. Here's a long ball left for, guess again, it's Julia Hernandez. She centers up to the top. Here's a shot. That one deflected. Ball loose at the top of the box. Shot is just wide left. That one off the foot of Paula Astida Zaran. Just misses the left post there, looking for goal number 26. A loose ball in the top here. You can see the deflection. Paula settles it, turns, fires, just misses wide left. And I think even if it had been on line, Laura Jackson had that post pretty well covered. But early on here, it has been an offensive onslaught for Eastern Florida. They put a lot of pressure on this Pioneers team. This one out towards Camargo, and Sierra Wilson will spoil it out the near sideline. Kordick to toss it in. Throw in ahead, Kordick controls. Back to Haley Cook. Swung to the middle of the pitch. Uh-oh, this one taken away by Spartanburg Methodist. Ball controlled here by the Pioneers. And this centered ball headed back out. Still controlled by Spartanburg Methodist. An opportunity here perhaps for the 12th seeded team looking to tie this game. Ball at the top of the box. They're going to call her offsides. What an opportunity there for Spartanburg Methodist. Heather Blazek out there. Looking to make that play, and she just couldn't. She was just whistled offsides. Here's early. Brianna Camargo leads the team in assists with 22. That's also a school record. Back on the sure foot of Camargo. Cordick looking ahead. Going to shift it for Hernandez on that side. Plenty of free runs for Julia Hernandez early here. They seem to leave her alone. Khadijah Shaw, she's all alone. Here's the shot. Caught by Laura Jackson, waiting for it. That's a big leg from Khadijah Shaw. She put a charge into that one, the 5'11 freshman from Spanish Town, Jamaica. Long ball here. This one looked ahead. The offsides flag is up. Let's take a look once again at that Khadijah Shaw shot. She is all alone. No one more than closer than 4 yards from her, and her shot an absolute bullet. But Laura Jackson controls. And on this side, Steph Badetis will get things started once again. And now a stoppage of play. Ball left ahead. Early stumbles there. Now she'll clear this one away. A long ball up ahead. This one is on sides for Spartanburg Methodist. Here's a shot. Bananas with a diving save. Heather Blazek with the shot. Bananas with a very nice diving save to her right. And twice in a row now, the Pioneers have gotten someone right behind that Eastern Florida State back defensive line to have an opportunity. Last time it was offsides. This time, Blazek stayed onside. Let's take a look at that one once again. Very nice save by Badetis. Blazek lines it up just outside the box, and Badetis makes a nice diving save. She's been pretty much Teflon for this Eastern Florida State team this year. Khadijah Shaw, left ahead. Shaw continuing to drive left side. No one's going to stop her. Left-footed shot looking for the back post, and it is helped in to make it 2-0. Eastern Florida State. That is Paula Astida-Zaran who puts it in. Shaw will pick up the assist as she drew the goalie, Laura Jackson. Shaw just wouldn't be denied by 3 defenders, draws the attention, centers it. Don't get much easier than that for Paula Astida-Zaran. She's had 26 of them this year. It's a school record as she continues to set it. And Khadijah Shaw picks up her 6th assist of the year. It's 2-0 Eastern Florida State. A little under 20 minutes in to the first half. Pioneers playing in their first national championship tournament in program history, their first trip this season. Head coach Dan Kennelly is in his 18th season. Kennelly, the director of soccer and head women's soccer coach. He's had a very interesting road to becoming that head soccer coach and director of soccer. Originally hired to be the director of soccer, yes, but the men's coach and men's golf coach. Soccer and golf, that is. Here's Blazek leaving it back. That was early in his time at Spartanburg Methodist, the very beginning. In '97, he became the head women's soccer coach as well. He left golf in 2003. Keneally, that is. Offsides, flag is up. Let's take a look once again at that Astida-Zaran goal. Shaw working to the left side. Once again, once you draw the goalie there, it's all wide open, and Paula came right in and buried it home for her 26th of the year. That makes it 2-0 Eastern Florida once again. This is Pool A. 4th game of the day. This one will finish our day here. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Nothing like some early morning soccer for you here in Melbourne. But Dan Keneally cannot be happy with the start to this game. You thought about it, Spartanburg Methodist need to play just about as perfect as they could early on to try to steal one here. Shaw looking to touch it for Brianna Camargo, couldn't find her. Blasak looking ahead, trying to find Sierra Wilson. Now, I will tell you this, Spartanburg Methodist has created a couple of long runs here where if they can get to it, they're going to have a couple of chances against Steph Paredes. Another long run here, coming out, punting it away is Laura Jackson. But just to finish up the story on Dan Keneally, left being the golf coach in 2003. In 2001, gave up coaching the men's soccer program, became the athletic recruiting and retention officer, remains the women's head soccer coach as well as the director of soccer. Has this team in the national tournament for the first time this year, has been the Region 10 Coach of the Year 5 different times. Make it 4. Paredes to knock this one to the near side. Kordick receives. Nice touch there. She works around the defender. Very nicely done. Here is Brianna Camargo looking ahead, trying to find Hernandez, who zigged instead of zagged. And they'll leave it back. Believe they may have called that offsides. So Spartanburg Methodist will control here. Hope Smith booms this one away. They'll call the foul on the 50-50 ball. Maybe now a bit of an opportunity here for Spartanburg Methodist. Pioneers waiting. Lexi Garcia out there looking to place it. Khadijah Shaw wanted to find out what the call was there, and Eastern Florida sets up a wall of 2, maybe 3. They'll call it 3. And Blasak will kick this one away. They're all lined up across the top of the box. This shot, Paredes leaping. That one just pawed away. Nicely done by Paredes, who got the right paw on it to rake that one over the top of the crossbar. It'll result in a corner kick for Spartanburg Methodist. Let's take a look at that again. Blasak put a charge into it, and Paredes, up she goes, knocks that one away. That would have made its way in there if she hadn't made the play. This could be a 2-1 game right now, but Paredes stands up. Very nicely done. And a corner kick here for the Pioneers. Let's see who will handle this one. Out there is Christine Early, the sophomore defender from Woodruff, South Carolina. This one into the box. Headed out by Eastern Florida State. Kept alive by the Pioneers. Still loose up near the top. Another lofting ball, and Paredes will end all of the confusion and pick it up. Long ball thrown out here, Brianna Camargo. Jay Bales. Correction, that was Estida Zadan. Looking to that far side. Here is Nicole Broderick, who has entered the game. The speedy one leaves it back for Jay Bales. Coming to the near side once again, they are going to find Brianna Camargo, who is whistled off sides. Let's go back once again. We'll take a look at that Paredes save once again. Blasak with a good look here at this one. Good lofting ball, and Paredes just able to get up there, avoid the side post as well, and knock that one away. A very nicely timed save. Timing that jump not easy, especially with the wind. We talked about that throughout the tournament today. The wind that's blowing here today is making its way across the field from the far sideline to the near sideline, and it has made some of these balls flutter and kind of stay up there a little bit longer than you would think. It's caused some timing issues, and here's the ball long once again, Julia Hernandez. She waits, crosses over to the top, looking for some help. A back touch here, and into the box, diving on top of it, is Laura Jackson. Here's Abby Camargo to her sister Brianna. Another ball left ahead. Abby Camargo, a free run now towards the goal. Camargo's shot knocked down and saved once again by Laura Jackson. I think early on here we're seeing Laura Jackson not afraid to come out from between those pipes. It's worked out for her more often than not. One time she's been beat. Another rolling ball up that far side. Spartanburg Methodist controls. They're in the blue jerseys, white shorts, high blue socks. Eastern Florida in those white jerseys and blue shorts control. Left out near side, Brianna Camargo. Nice little cross over there to the top. Trying to get the ball inside. It is denied and left out to Nicole Broderick. The Jamaican native working left side. Good speed. She's got wheels here, cutting back. Nice move. The kick. And shot is wide. Would have been nice to finish. Had the defender, Kalia Hargrave, down as she was trying to keep up with Nicole Broderick. But couldn't steer it home to finish the highlight. Let's look at this again. Broderick, as soon as she turns the corner here, there's trouble. And then, whoop, she goes right by. And the shot from Nicole Broderick just a little bit too strong. Would have been a nice highlight to finish up her first half here. Ball out that far side. And for Kalila Hargrave, just trying to stay in front of Nicole Broderick there. Not an easy task. She is one of the quicker players in the country. Christine Early to toss this one in. 2-0 Eastern Florida. 26 minutes in. Here to the first half. Substitution coming here as they look to figure this out. In fact, while they do that, we'll remind you that Select Sports is proud to be the official match ball of the National Junior College Athletic Association. Select's Super FIFA Match Ball is used exclusively at all NJCAA soccer championships. Select Sport, inspired by history but designed for the future. As they continue to work this out here, I'm not quite sure what the decision is for the stoppage of play, if just a timeout has been called or what has happened, but we'll take a look here. Brianna and Abby Camargo headed over as well. Everyone has emptied the field except for the two goalkeepers. Dan Keneally speaking with his team, Jeff Carr as well, as they get this sorted out. We're still waiting to get some sort of a sign from the official as to what is going on here. There's a bit of a clock issue. Yeah, they're going to look at the clock here and make sure that it's correct, and they'll move it to 16:43 is what it is. So they've run an extra 3 minutes off here. Was in the 19-minute range. But now it's 2-0 with 16:43 to go. And I believe Spartanburg Methodist will have possession when we return, but that there you saw was Anya Voigt. She's in control here. Broderick harassing there, trying to come up with possession. They call the foul, and Broderick looking for that quick start. She's going to leave it off for Paula Astida-Zaran. Lofting ball, looking for the backside of that box. This one controlled, settled by Camargo. Coming back out, Camargo. Trying to work her way around Hargrave. Can't do it. Leaves it to her sister Abby, and that time Hargrave able to knock that one out of bounds. Here's Cordick. Brianna Camargo to Cordick. Abby Camargo. This one rolls into the side of the box, and it's lost by Eastern Florida. Nice little back touch there by Blasek. They'll leave it back for Badetis, who looks to change the point of attack here. We'll spin it to the near side. This is Haley Cook, sophomore from Indian Harbor Beach. Went to Satellite High School, not too far down the road. Not a bad football school either. Obviously, they can do a little bit of soccer as well. Here comes Cordick trying to run that one out. She kept it. No, inbounds, did not. And it's a throw-in for Spartan Methodist. The Pioneers will get possession back. 14:53 to go here in the first half. Eastern Florida, a couple of goals, one from Julia Hernandez, the other one from Paula Estida-Zeran. The two Spaniards here are driving the bus. Hope Smith checks in for Spartanburg Methodist. Throw in headed by Brianna Camargo. Now it's on her right foot, spun back around to the top. This is Abby Camargo looking to lead it on for Nicole Broderick, and they were just a moment late there. Broderick was calling for it, but did not think she was going to get it. Hargrave. Booming kick here by Laura Jackson. And here's one for Nicole Broderick. She's offsides, they say. This Eastern Florida State roster, of course, in the tournament a year ago, returning quite a few of last year's contributors. You talk about, of course, some of the defenders. One of two are Haley Cook, as well as Arnila Cordick, who started every game last year a season ago, and that experience has helped them. Here's a right-footed shot controlled by Jackson. That one off the foot of Brianna Camargo. But it's been the newcomers that have really been the difference. I talk about those Camargo sisters. They're also returners, Abby and Brianna. It was Abby a season ago that set that assist mark at 18. Make it 16. Her sister Brianna has broken it, 22. Here's another long ball. Blasek trying to get to it, sliding, and that one's going to go out the near sideline, tripping up Badetis. And Spartanburg Methodist, we're going to put some pressure on here. Blasek controlled for a moment. Now it's back out to Eastern Florida. Middle of the pitch, Brianna Camargo to Broderick. She's on the run. Once again, we've talked about the speed Broderick has. Some good footwork as well as she drives right. Gets a step around the defender. Broderick centering pass. This one caught by Jackson. There's a lot of polish on these attackers for Eastern Florida. Broderick, Hernandez, Estida-Zeran, Khadija Shaw as well. They bring a lot out in terms of being able to attack on this team and create all by themselves. 12-minute mark, first half. It's 2-0 Eastern Florida. Broderick up high. This one taken away by Spartanburg Methodist. Up ahead, pass a little bit too strong. Controlled by Brianna Camargo. Jay Bales, Abby Camargo. On the run, Abby, left ahead, looking for her sister Brianna. Has it to the left side, and the shot deflected. Did they whistle her offsides? I believe they did. So another offsides call against Eastern Florida. Hargrave will take care of it here. They'll leave it back for Jackson instead. Another opportunity here for Eastern Florida. Here comes Broderick on the run. Lofting ball, kept it in bounds. Her shot just misses the back post. And this one will roll its way all the way out the near sideline. And substitutions coming for Eastern Florida State. Let's take a look at that one more time. You know, you feel like Nicole Broderick is eventually going to break through here, trying to turn the corner. Works around the goalkeeper. Her shot just misses that back post. She tried to sneak it in there, couldn't do it. Broderick, a transfer from Navarro College. 7 goals, was close to number 8 there. Here's Brianna Camargo. Back once again. This is Khadijah Shaw. Her shot wide right. But you look at that 1-2 combination, the sophomore Broderick, the freshman Shaw, both of them from Jamaica. Very different style of player, but very effective nonetheless. Ball in the middle of the pitch. Here comes Broderick. Up ahead. This is Abby Camargo. Good loft, was looking in for Paula Estida-Zeran, and it is cleared out by that Spartanburg Methodist defense. Quick toss in, Kordick will do it. Jay Bales. Khadijah Shaw up high. Looking to pitch that one in, couldn't do it. And here's a long ball sent out for Spartanburg Methodist. They're looking for Sarah Dorset. Let's check this one out once again here. Camargo looking inside. Just try to chip this one up here as she looks for Paula and just missed her. You talk about teams being on the same page. This season, Abby Camargo, 17 assists. Her sister, Brianna, 39 assists between the two of them. Bree has 22. These teams have kind of all been on the same page all season long, and you can really credit that to Jeff Carr, the head coach. The 6th-year man who, day 1 of training camp, started talking about November 21st, which of course is the date of that national championship. Has always said he wants his team playing and winning on November 21st, and has them in a position to do just that at 14-0 and a 2-0 lead here in the first half at the 8-minute mark of game 1. Ball sent ahead. That one punched out the touchline. We'll see Baredes clear this one away once again. But you think about the program that Jeff Carr has put together in his 6th season. 71 wins, just 12 losses, 5 ties. And they're once again here in the national tournament. And on the other side, Dan Canilli, who's in his 18th year, but with this women's team, 177 and 115, another guy that has just bred success. Bales has it roll by her. Lexi Garcia couldn't keep control. Here's another long ball. Spartanburg Methodist playing a little bit of a kick and chase game here as they're trying to catch this Titans team off guard. A couple of substitutes ready to check in here in a moment. Bales will take a seat. Hernandez will take a seat for Eastern Florida. Broderick checks in. It was a very short rest for Broderick. Beth Ann Jones, the freshman, as well, in on that defensive line for Eastern Florida. Those 2 subs will get in a moment here for Spartanburg Methodist. And once again, here's another long ball out the side. Toss in, Eastern Florida controls. 6-minute mark, first half. Eastern Florida 2-0 lead. They like to change that point of attack on the defensive line, and this time they go long down that far sideline. Here's a deflected ball, maybe an opportunity here. Jackson dives on it, and that was a tough collision down there on the sideline and slow to get up. Not getting up. For Eastern Florida is that player down on the touchline. And the trainer's going to come in to take a look. That was a rough collision there. Believe that's Beth Ann Jones who is down wearing the number 26. The freshman from Kings Lynn, England. Let's take a look here as Jackson came out to make a play, sliding in there, and she took a cleat, that left cleat from Jackson right to the face. And they seem to be tending more to the left leg there as well as they got all tangled up. It was kind of a feet-first messy collision between the two. And the trainer's looking at exactly that lower part of the left leg, the calf area. They may be just stretching it out here as well, but it's Beth Ann Jones that is down. Once again, the freshman from Kings Lynn, England. In her first year here with Eastern Florida State College. Once again, that was an ugly collision, and now they're ready to get her up. Beth Ann Jones helped up by head coach Jeff Carr and the trainer. And Jeff Carr is going to help his player off, and she doesn't really want to put all the weight on that left leg. This is concerning if you're a Titans fan, and Beth Ann Jones being helped off the field. You can see she is wary of putting any kind of weight on that left foot, slowly working her way off. And once again, another one of those just kind of anyone's ball there. And Laura Jackson sliding in, and we'll get this game started again. Nicole Broderick will come back in. Beth Ann Jones will take a seat. And we'll see Jackson kick this one away. 5:40 left first half, 2-0 Eastern Florida State College leads Spartanburg Methodist. This is the 1-12 matchup. The top seed and host team, Eastern Florida, opening up their tournament here tonight. Ball into that far side. That one rolls out of bounds. Julia Hernandez fighting for that one, it looked like. Spartanburg Methodist, a 13-7 season. Once again, they are champions of Region 10. Here comes Broderick again, leaping a defender, working her way around her, leaving it back up to the top. Here's a shot, right foot. This one is well up high and out of play. That is Rosalina Lido. Make it Rosalina Lindo. That left that one high. Jackson will key it back in once again. We do want to thank you for joining us here on NJCAA TV. Nick Grunowitz out here in Melbourne, Florida. Day one. We've got a whole week of soccer out here on the campus of Eastern Florida State College. The NJCAA Women's Soccer Championship. Cordick able to knock it away from Hargrave and out the near touchline. Ball thrown in here. They're looking for Nicole Broderick, who's working that left side now. Broderick, she's a little fancy there. Leaves it up to the top. Lindo. Here's Khadijah Shaw. Cutting back. Shaw's left-footed kick. Diving stop made by Jackson. Nicely played by Laura Jackson, the freshman from Lawrence, South Carolina. Has let two get by. Not that one. A dive to her right. A very nice play. Abby Camargo looking to push the envelope here. Lofting ball far side. Picked up by Spartanburg Methodist. Very active Eastern Florida State, able to regain possession. And that'll be a corner kick for Eastern Florida State. Serena Delgado earning that. Let's take a look at this Khadijah Shaw trigger once again. Look at this missile, and Jackson diving right in front of it. And a corner kick here for Eastern Florida State. Paula Astida-Zaran will handle it. And the left-footed lofted shot. Short header, loose. Broderick has it in the box. Left-footed kick is loose. And it's back out the near side. Lindo couldn't steer it in. And here come the Pioneers. Errant pass left behind. Abby Camargo will send it to the far side. Maybe another opportunity coming here. Right-footed shot. Jackson once again another save. That was Astida-Zaran that triggered that one, and Jackson once again stood up to the test in another header. And chasing it is Abby Camargo. Broderick can't quite get there. You know, when you watch Nicole Broderick play, and you know, there's a bunch of players in this tournament that I'm high on, and we'll get to that in just a moment. Let's take a look at this ball in the box. Broderick in it as she ends up with it. She's going to leave it for Lindo here to just unload, and she couldn't quite steer it home. A wall of defenders there. But when you watch Nicole Broderick play, and keep an eye on her, wearing number 27 for this team, it feels like she's on turbo while everyone else is kind of moving at normal speed. She's very quick. Hard to keep up with. And here's a long ball as they look to the near side here. Spartanburg Methodist trying to find a hole in this back line of Eastern Florida State defenders and really can't quite do it. Hargrave and looking for it. This ball rolls up the sideline and it's touched by Kordick. We got a minute left in this first half. Eastern Florida State up 2-0 over Spartanburg Methodist from South Carolina. Hargrave to toss it in. Blazak there, can't quite get to it. 30 seconds to go. Kordick. Abby Camargo. Here's Lindo. Looking up ahead. To the near side, Broderick. Her centering shot. Jackson controls. 15 seconds left, and I wouldn't be surprised if Jackson took her sweet time with this one. 10 seconds to go in the half. And she'll roll it out to Hargrave. And that's going to take us to the end of the first half. 45 minutes in the book. Eastern Florida State College, the top overall seed, opening up their tournament with a 2-0 lead over Spartanburg Methodist. A couple of goals, we'll tell you about them during our halftime coverage. When we return, you're watching the NJCAA Women's Soccer Championships on NJCAA TV.
This is where we're building the future. This is where we meet the challenge, where leaders emerge and careers take flight. This is where you discover new opportunities. Choose to stand where excellence lives, where titans rise. Eastern Florida State College.
Recently, the Eastern Florida State College women's basketball team held its media day to kick off the new season. Third-year head coach Jim Grimes looks to build upon last season's success.
Well, going to the state tournament last year was a big accomplishment for our program. It had been many years since we were able to do that. Really the best thing about it was the experience that we were able to gain. So the returning players have already been where we want to be this year, and so that's going to really help us moving forward. As far as our expectations for this season, they're similar to what they were going into last season. You know, we want to have steady improvement. I want to see daily development in the team, and hopefully we can do even more than we did last season. Well, I've been very pleased with how the team has come together. Our chemistry seems to be good. I think this summer really helped us. We didn't have that in past years. We spent a lot of time together this summer, so I think we're far ahead in terms of our chemistry.
Well, we're going to bring a lot of energy this year, a lot more athleticism. It's going to be fun to watch us play. We got a lot of shooters, Emma, Paola. We have Trudy Walker and Kenya coming in, pushing the pace. It's going to be exciting to watch us play this year.
We're very athletic compared to last year. Like, we can go, last year we couldn't go full court. This year we can go full court D and everything with no problem. Like, very athletic team.
My expectations are pretty high. I'm very excited. I'm very blessed to be here. It's a great opportunity for me to play for Eastern Florida. It's a great program. I'm really excited to be here. It's a great school, great teammates, great professors, great athletic program. So I'm really excited, and my expectations and hopes are high. I think we're going to focus on what we need to do, and I think we're going to do it.
Admission is free, so check the college website for the next home game and come out and support your Titans.
They're going to see a team that plays really hard. They're going to see a team that cares about each other. They're going to play together. And hopefully they're going to see a team that makes really good decisions.
Well, I would tell you, you think last year was something? Wait till you see this team.
Titan Madness was in the air as the annual event launched the 2015-2016 season for the men's and women's Titans basketball teams. The night began with a skills competition, pitting Titans players against one another in a display of sharpshooting from all over the court. Then it was nothing but net for the men and women as they showed off their shooting prowess in the three-point shooting contest. The Titans men and women then took to the court to face off in the co-ed scrimmage. Finally, the high-flying Titans dazzled the crowd with gravity-defying jams in the crowd favorite dunk contest. This year, the talented men's team looks to continue its success behind three-time reigning FCSAA Southern Conference Coach of the Year, Jeremy Schulman. Coach Jim Grimes leads the Lady Titans team as they look to repeat as FCSAA Southern Conference champs. Admission to all Titans games is free, so check the schedule for the next home game and come out and support your Titans.
Halftime in Melbourne, our fourth and final game of the day, and after 45 minutes of competitive soccer, the host team and top overall seed Eastern Florida State College has a 2-0 lead over 12th-seeded Spartanburg Methodist. As we welcome you back into the broadcast, thanks for joining us here on NJCAA TV. This is our coverage of the NJCAA Women's Soccer Championships. I'm Nick Grunowitz. Well, it was all Eastern Florida in that first half. They got it started off quickly. Let's take a look at some of the highlights. It was Julia Hernandez that got us started right. It was a lofting ball into the back of the net, her 23rd goal of the season. A good look there, just able to beat Jackson, who was sliding in there. But then things went a little cold for this Eastern Florida team. They had a whole lot of opportunities. Bunny Shaw there, smothered by Jackson, who's played some very nice goal despite giving up the two scores. Julia Hernandez again cannot beat Jackson. Even the second opportunity as well. And then one final time here, ball into the box, and they can't quite turn it into anything. And here's Paula Astida-Zaran, who could not finish that one. Shaw again. This one finds the back of the net. Paula, her 26th of the year, gives Eastern Florida a 2-0 lead. A couple of opportunities for Spartanburg. Heather Blasak and a nice save by Steph Badatis. And then on a free kick as well, Blasak has had a couple of opportunities. Badatis, elevator, top floor. No thank you. That one rejected as well. And 45 minutes in, it's 2-0. Eastern Florida the lead over Spartanburg Methodist. And you saw a couple of those missed opportunities. You get the feeling a ball bounces here or there. This Eastern Florida State team is up a bunch, and head coach Jeff Carr has to be happy with the performance through the first 45 minutes of soccer. Now, you do see the sixth-year head coach meeting right now with Beth Ann Jones, who went out of this game after a collision with the Pioneers goalkeeper Laura Jackson. We'll keep an eye on her health. They were looking at her left leg. She walked off, but with help, did not want to put a whole lot of weight on that left leg. So whether or not the freshman from Kings Lynn, England, returns is still a question. As I said, we'll keep you informed on that situation. You can see some ice on that left knee as she speaks with her head coach and a couple of the players. I would not expect to see Beth Ann Jones back, though, a smile on her face. You hope that she's okay to go for the rest of this tournament. Has been a very valued member of that back defensive line with Haley Cook, Serena Delgado, Audrey Bone, as well as Arnelia Kordick. And that entire defensive back, along with Steph Badatis, has been so good for this team this year en route to the 14-0 record. Now, on the other side for Spartanburg Methodist, unlike the first three games of this tournament, they have had a couple of opportunities at Steph Badatis, including the two long shots by Heather Blasak, one that Badatis had to leap up and make that play on. You saw the highlight. So for Spartanburg Methodist, if I'm head coach Dan Keneally, I'm looking at this team saying, hey, we've had our opportunities. We just got to make sure we don't let anything back in the net to widen the deficit and keep trying to chip away, because this Eastern Florida State defense has allowed a couple of lapses in attention and allowed the Pioneers to get back behind them and have a couple of opportunities. But through the first 45 minutes, the Titans in complete control, 2-0 behind a couple of goals from each of the Spaniards. Paula Astida-Zaran and Julia Hernandez, as those two have combined for 49 goals between the two of them. 26 for Paula, a school record. Julia not far behind her with 23. The Camargo sisters continue to play well. Nicole Broderick had a couple of opportunities to go along with it. And, well, at the end of one half, it's a 2-0 lead. Eastern Florida State College leads Spartanburg Methodist, and it should be a very entertaining second half to this one. The final 45 minutes that will close out our day one here from Melbourne. This Pool A play, these two teams here as they look to finish out this final 45 minutes. Second half coming up in just a few moments from Melbourne. You're watching the NJCAA Women's Soccer Championships on NJCAA TV.
Titan Madness was in the air as the annual event launched the 2015-2016 season for the men's and women's Titans basketball teams. The night began with a skills competition, pitting Titans players against one another in a display of sharpshooting from all over the court. Then it was nothing but net for the men and women as they showed off their shooting prowess in the three-point shooting contest. The Titans men and women then took to the court to face off in the co-ed scrimmage. Finally, the high-flying Titans dazzled the crowd with gravity-defying jams in the crowd favorite dunk contest. This year, the talented men's team looks to continue its success behind three-time reigning FCSAA Southern Conference Coach of the Year, Jeremy Schulman. Coach Jim Grimes leads the Lady Titans team as they look to repeat as FCSAA Southern Conference champs. Admission to all Titans games is free, so check the schedule for the next home game and come out and support your Titans.
Eastern Florida State College. This is where you discover new opportunities, where you pursue your dreams, and careers take flight. Apply now for new bachelor and associate degree programs in business, healthcare, computer technology, and other growing fields. Eastern Florida, where Titans rise. Apply today.
Recently, the Eastern Florida State College men's golf team held its 2015 Fall Media Day. Head coach Jamie Howell will need to prepare his players for an ambitious fall schedule that sets the stage for the spring championship season.
Your fall season just gives you an idea of who you are. You know, here's what we're capable of doing, here's where we need to improve, and then you make sure you don't try to do things you're not capable of at this time. So the big issue for me is just letting things play themselves out. You know, literally have the guys prepare and go play at each event and see how we do. You're not going to win if you don't have talent, and even more, you need some chemistry to go with it. So you're looking for guys that are going to fit together. I don't expect them to be best friends forever, but I expect them all to be on the same page, and if we all strive for the same goals, we'll do just fine, even filling those slots every year.
I see a positive being that we are young, but we're eager to build up on experience, eager to build up on being in the heat of the moment like last year. But it's going to be tough, and the positives we have is that Nationals is home. It's not traveling anywhere, and we're going to feel a little more comfortable being around, Brevard County instead of traveling to Kansas or Texas.
Well, I've heard obviously a lot about this program. Obviously, they've got a great history, and obviously being in America, it's great weather, and I feel like coming over here, I'll be able to excel in my game and compete with great players. We have some good sophomores in the team, very good, and if I can learn of what they've done over the last year, it might help me in the next few months developing as a golfer.
Sometimes you feel a little target on your back when you go to tournaments, but like golf is, you can't expect anything. Anybody can win on any given day, and I think that's going to be one of the things we're going to have to learn this year is we've lost a couple players that really helped us last year, but we're going to be replacing them this year with some good freshmen.
So check out the Eastern Florida State College website and come out and support your Titans.
We're going to try to repeat or if not do better. I mean, the goal is always to win, regardless. I didn't come here to get second place, and I don't think any of the guys did either.
We're ready for second half play here in Melbourne, Florida. The top seed, Eastern Florida State College, the host team, leads 12th-seeded Spartanburg Methodist 2-0 after the first 45 minutes of play. And we welcome you back into the broadcast. Thanks for joining us here on NJCAA TV. I'm Nick Grunowitz here in Melbourne, Florida, on the east coast of the Sunshine State. The top overall seed, Eastern Florida, in the white jerseys and blue shorts. They will move from right to left as these teams have switched directions now. And Eastern Florida with control here. They'll move from left to right, excuse me. On the other side, Spartanburg right to left. They'll move in those blue jerseys and white shorts. It's almost like they coordinated this. They went opposite colors for us here in this one. That was polite. Throw in for Eastern Florida. Serena Delgado will do it. First half, pretty much all Eastern Florida State. A couple of opportunities for Spartanburg. A couple of long shots for Heather Blasak that Steph Badetas had to handle, but Other than that, the Titans had some missed opportunities, the two they came through on. Julia Hernandez, her 23rd goal of the season to open things up. Here's another opportunity for Julia. She weaves in and out, trying to work on the defender, looking to make that turn. Defender sliding down on her, and she's going to have to back it out. This one leaves it long for Abby Camargo. One touch, and Paula Astida-Zaran tried to steer that one in and couldn't do it, and now a player down. This a member of Spartanburg Methodist down on the field. It's Bailey Wilson, the freshman from Lexington, South Carolina. It's going to bring the trainer out to take a look at her. There was a lot of activity down there as Julia Hernandez worked up against Jennifer Aceves. And Bailey Wilson came over to try to help too, I believe, and went down right there on the touchline, and the trainer taking a look to see what had happened here. But that first half, all Eastern Florida. Julia Hernandez, her 23rd goal. Paula Astida-Zaran, her 26th goal. Bunny Shaw picked up her 6th assist of the season on that Astida-Zaran goal. And the trainer now, looks like they're checking out that left leg of Bailey Wilson. Head coach Dan Keneally coming out, the man in his 18th year as head coach of this team, to check on his player. Barely 2 minutes in, just about 90 seconds in, as they continue to tend to Bailey Wilson. For Spartanburg Methodist, we talked about this, and Bailey Wilson in a lot of pain down there as they get a look at her. We'll have to see what may have happened here, but hopefully they can get her up and help her off of the field, and that's exactly what they'll do here. Wilson being walked off with the trainer and her head coach, and she's not putting any weight on what I think is that right leg as they help her off. Wilson, one of the main contributors on this backline defense for Spartanburg Methodist. And we'll see them get her off, and hopefully she's able to recover, play in the tournament still, but not wanting to put any weight. It's on that left leg, make it, as she makes her way off. Wilson this year has started in all 15 games that she's played. 15 of the 20 that Spartanburg Methodist has played. Has not registered a goal this year, but you would expect that for a defender playing on that back line. Laura Jackson will kick this one away, and we'll get play resumed. A little more than 90 seconds in here, and another opportunity sent to the far side. This is Hernandez looking to make a run, make it Abby Camargo, left at the top. Here's Hernandez. She finds the back of the net. Julia Hernandez, her 2nd goal of the game, 24th of the year, 3-0. Eastern Florida State College. Let's take a look at that one again. Beautiful footwork here from Abby Camargo. Beats the defender, has an open lane. This is selflessness right here as they get it to Julia. She tried to back touch it, had to turn and find the back of the net. But at first you don't succeed. Try again. Julia does that, finds the goal, and gives her team a 3-0 advantage. As I mentioned, Julia's 2nd goal of the ball game. Eastern Florida up 3-0. The Spartanburg Methodist team playing in their first national tournament in program history. This is quite the introduction. An undefeated Eastern Florida State College team, and Spartanburg Methodist has held up strong here with And let's get another look one more time. Abby Camargo finds Julia there, and she just tries to back touch it, but decides, you know what, let's just, for good measure, puts it in the back. Jay Bales, one touch, coming to the near side. Abby Camargo again. Credit the assist to Abby Camargo. She has 18 on the year. Second on the team to her sister, Brianna, who has 22. The school record this season for Eastern Florida State College soccer for assists coming into the year was 16, set by Abby Camargo, and both of these girls have just shattered it. That's 18 for Abby Camargo, 22 for Brianna. Shows you what kind of offense this team has rolled out this year if not just one player can get at least 16, but two. Here's Laura Jackson again. The Lawrence, South Carolina native will boot this one ahead. Bales has it skip over her. Back to the near sideline comes Sarai Bowman. Long ball, they're looking ahead. This one a little bit too long, and Badatis will control it. This is Brianna Camargo. Looking ahead, Julia Hernandez. She's going to leave it off. Hernandez hits the deck. Driving still, ball across the box. That was Paula Astida-Zaran that could not steer it in. This one controlled out by Mansell. She's going to kick it out the near side. Make that Sierra Smith from Columbia, South Carolina that did that. Here comes a throw-in for Eastern Florida. Serena Delgado. Long toss to the top of the box. Brianna Camargo once again surveying, leaves it back. A little bit of an opportunity here. Shot Jackson able to get in front of it. That was Arnella Kordick with an opportunity. And Jackson dives on top of it. This ball let back and controlled by Badatis once again. And Lexi Garcia, the one in hot pursuit. Abby Camargo. Nice little spin there, left it for her teammate, and it's knocked out the near sideline. Serena Delgado hits the turf, gets up, tosses it in quickly to Abby. And this one punted back out once again. Here's Bunny Shaw, her shot wide. And Jackson will go get it. Should be a very entertaining week out here in Melbourne. This game 4 of the day. We've seen victories from Butler, the 4 seed over 9-seeded Schoolcraft. 3rd seeded Iowa Central beat the number 10 seed Laramie County. 11 seed Moraine fell to the number 2 seed Tyler from Texas. There's an offsides call here, and Eastern Florida leads 3-0. With 38-24 to go in the second half. The odd thing is we have not seen a road team, that being the lower seeded team, score a goal. Schoolcraft, Laramie, Moraine all shut out. Eastern Florida 38 minutes away from keeping that trend. We'll see 4 of the 8 teams that we saw today tomorrow. It'll be an off day for half of them. Here's Brianna Camargo. This Eastern Florida team will have the day off tomorrow. They take on Pima, the 8th seed, on Wednesday at 5:30. They got the night matches. That is what goes with the number 1 seed territory. You get the night games. Maybe being the host as well, but I would imagine it's the number 1 seed. Hargrave to the middle of the pitch. Astida Zedan steers it ahead. Here comes Bunny Shaw, full head of steam. Up that left side. Her shot, back post. That one finds the back of the goal. Khadijah Shaw, they call her Bunny, fires that one. It hops right in the back of the net. And it's 4-0 Eastern Florida State. Let's take a look, and we'll start with Paula here. Nice little look. Astida Zedan was looking for Hernandez perhaps, but she led it up in a good decision. Khadijah Shaw, left side, the right-footed shot. Jackson got a hand on it, but not enough, and it finds the back of the net. Astida Zedan picks up her 21st assist of the year. Khadijah Shaw, her 9th goal of the season. 4-0 Eastern Florida State College. 37 minutes, 17 seconds to go in the second half. You're in Game 4. Pool A play here. Pool A consists of this Spartanburg team, Eastern Florida, and Pima. As I said, Eastern Florida will not play till Wednesday. Spartanburg will play Pima tomorrow. That's the night game as well here in Pool A. We'll get you tomorrow's matchup as well as we look forward to another entertaining day of soccer. This one above the head of Hargrave. Here comes Julia Hernandez. Already 2 goals, picks this one up, feeds to the right side. This is Abby Camargo, and she mistouched that one a little bit. And this one keyed out the near sideline. Tomorrow's matchups in Pool D, 9-seeded Schoolcraft against the number 5 seed Darton State. 12:30, 10-seeded Laramie County will take on Lewis and Clark, the 6th seed. 7th seed Monroe, last year's champion, will take on Moraine, the 11 seed. The 7-11 matchup, and of course, as I mentioned, Spartanburg Pima 12-8 rounds out tomorrow. Total of 12 games in 3 days in pool play. And here comes Spartanburg Methodist as they look to continue to try to mount some sort of an offensive attack here. Nothing going. A foul in the middle of the pitch goes back to Eastern Florida. Here's Paula Astida Zedan. Julia Hernandez, defender on her back, will knock it back out. This is Kordick trying to make a run at it. Left side. Her center pass was looking for Bunny Shaw, couldn't find her. Knocked out the touchline, corner kick coming for Eastern Florida. Let's see who will handle it here. It'll be Abby Camargo. And eyes on Laura Jackson, who waits. First kick, an in-swinger here. Ball out the back of the box. Here's a whistle that halts play. This will give the possession back to Spartanburg Methodist. So 4 goals today for Eastern Florida State. They came in averaging a little over 5, so you think maybe there's one more left in the hopper. Jay Bales hunts this one down. Swung around by Delgado, and Abby Camargo couldn't quite catch up to it. Another toss in. Bales again working with that left knee brace. Up ahead. Left side of the box, this is Brianna Camargo. Had it knocked away by Christine Early. It's knocked out the far sideline. Christina Early from Woodruff, South Carolina, able to stave off that attack. Arnella Kordick will toss it in. There's Julia Hernandez. Sends it to the top of the box. She's got Shaw there. A bouncing ball that was deflected and gobbled up by Laura Jackson. Nicely played there. That one almost had a bit of an in-between hop that could have skipped its way by the goalkeeper. Here come the Pioneers. McMillan sent all the way up and ahead. Right side, but Edis will dive on top of it. Spartanburg looking for Sierra Wilson. Correction, as Mara Holmes has checked into the ball game. I missed that. The 5'7" sophomore from Silver Spring. So Holmes in there in between the pipes. She's had a very nice season this year as well, mainly the backup to Steph Barreras. Here comes Camargo. Has it deflected. Back over to Abby again. Going to work. Sent ahead. Hernandez is offsides and she knew it. This year, as Mara Holmes has played in 9 games, has allowed just 1 goal with 18 saves. Has not gotten a whole lot of work. Steph Barreras has been the one that has handled the majority of the goalkeeping duties. It's mainly in either games where Bareras needs a little bit of a spell, or you want to get, as Mara Holmes, some work in late that you've been able to see her. Hernandez ahead here on the left side, controls, changing direction. Brianna Camargo, her shot, top of the box, diving, and that one is just wide. Jackson may have had a hand on it if it was on goal, but that one just wide left. And Brianna Camargo very close to her 10th goal of the year. Let's take a look at this one again. Brianna Camargo at the top of the box ends up all alone, and the right-footed shot just wide of that post. Ball out the far side. It'll go back to Eastern Florida State. Kordick finds Julia Hernandez. A pair of goals. Can she find the hat trick? Moving to the top. Looking inside. Finds a teammate. Paula Astira-Zeran could not quite settle it, and it's knocked out of bounds by Spartanburg Methodist. You can see maybe a little bit of fatigue on this Pioneers team. It's been a lot of pressure on this defensive back line. We've already seen Bailey Wilson exit, Sierra Smith, Christina Early, Hope Smith as well. Here's a foul. They'll give it back to the Pioneers. And it's left back to Aaliyah Hargrave, the Anderson, South Carolina native. Hargrave's kick. Long and controlled by Jay Bales, hitting the turf on the play. Heather Blasak. And a foul called there. So now Spartanburg Methodist with an opportunity to try to find their first goal of the day. It'll be the first goal for a visiting team as well. Lofting ball, top of the box. This one short, loose inside of the box. Pioneers control. Here's a shot and a nice save by Asmara Holmes. Able to dive on top of that one. A loose ball in there. I believe it was Mansell who was able to pull the trigger. And Asmara Holmes keeping the shutout intact. Jay Bales. Looking to that far side, this is Hernandez on a little give and go. Her shot deflected, header, that one is in. Back of the net. Paula Astira-Zaran finds it. What a nice play there to make it 5-0 Eastern Florida State. Let's take a look at this one, the second goal of the game for the Spaniard. Centering shot, header. Not much you can do there if you're Laura Jackson. And Astira-Zaran has her second goal of the game, her 27th of the season. As these two Spaniards continue to pace each other for a quartet of goals from the two Spaniards, Paula Astira-Zaran and Julia Hernandez. Here's a foul in the middle of the pitch. Bunny Shaw will pick that up. Let's take a look at this beautiful header one more time. Turning the corner, this is Abby Camargo. She punches this in there, and Paula, running right to the front of the net, is able to flick it right into the back, just inside the post. Pretty simple one there, and as I said, Laura Jackson, not a whole lot you can do there. Abby Camargo picks up her 18th assist of the year. And Eastern Florida State thought they had the throw in. Maybe they do. Here comes the substitution. Here comes Nicole Broderick. And Abby Camargo will take a seat. And you know Nicole Broderick is thinking she wants to get in on the party here. It's 5-0 Eastern Florida, and we saw Broderick come close a couple of times in the first half. She controls here, can't quite keep it in bounds. 27-14 left, second half. Eastern Florida 5-0 lead over Spartanburg Methodist. 1 seed leading the 12 seed. I mentioned Eastern Florida. A day off tomorrow after this. They'll play again 5:30 on Wednesday. The Pioneers, quick turnaround, 24 hours. They play again tomorrow. Jackson's kick, a short one. Controlled by the Pioneers. Nope, taken away by Eastern Florida. Left to the left side. In the box. Here's the shot. Jackson knocked on her backside, but able to control it. And Julia Hernandez was looking for the hat trick there as she fired that one. Bunny Shaw to Nicole Broderick. The Jamaican natives working together here. This one led out to the far side, right of the box. Make it to the near side. Shaw lofting this one up over the top of the goal and out the back. And we'll see Jackson once again kick this one away. So 5 goals for Eastern Florida. Spartanburg Methodist has not had much of an opportunity in the second half. Let's take a look at that last shot here as Shaw lofts this one up. Probably needed about the 9-iron. Instead went with the pitching wedge. And that one a little bit too high and not quite on target that time. 25:42 to go, and Eastern Florida once again in control. Astira-Zaran, one touch. Back to the top with Paula. Her shot denied. Hargrave sends it over to the right side. Here's an opportunity for Eastern Florida State center, and this one, left foot. It's in the back of the net. A hat trick for Paula Astira-Zaran. 28 goals this year. And Eastern Florida State leads it 6-0. That's just a mental mistake there if you take a look. Hargrave leaves it out to the right side. Cassidy Davis centers it, and Paula finds the back of the net. That's 3 for her. 28 for the year. School record. She continues to extend it. And if there was any sort of concern from the home fans here at Eastern Florida State of this team coming out flat, I think those have been put to rest as Nicole Broderick gets control here. She's tripped up. And a foul called. Christina Early tripping up Broderick. And now another opportunity. We'll see Paula Astida-Zaran handle this one. About 15 yards out from the top of the box there. A wall of 3 in front of her. Here's the shot. Left foot. Jackson will watch that one sail wide right. So a hat trick for Paula Astida-Zaran. 2 more added by Julia Hernandez. 5 of the 6. The other goal for this Eastern Florida State College team, Abby Camargo, found the back of the net. Make that, yes, 6 goals for this team. Now Shaw trying to get in on it, couldn't do it. And Jackson will kick this one away once again. Just under 24 minutes to go here in the second half, and Hargraves trying to feed this one around. This Eastern Florida team has figured out that if they pressure this back defensive line when the ball is brought out, they can probably get some sort of a steal and an opportunity early. Touched back for Garcia. This one left ahead. They're looking for Sierra Wilson. Run for it, and Asmara Holmes is going to let this one roll. That one intended for Karina Guardado. Astida-Zaran. Here comes Eastern Florida State one more time to the far side. Here's Nicole Broderick. She's got some open room here. She can really fly. Broderick, the far side. Left herself some room. Back to the top of the box. Right-footed shot. Jackson with the deflection and a corner kick. Eastern Florida coming up. You watch Nicole Broderick get into some open field. I talked about this in the first half. It's like a sports car getting going there. She can really fly. Highly maneuverable there. Has some very good moves. And unloaded on that last shot. And Broderick just coming up empty. Jackson with the stop. But there's the star tonight so far. Paula Astida-Zaran with 3 goals, a hat trick, 28 on the year. Has Eastern Florida out to a 6-0 lead. And here comes the corner kick. Titans still looking for a little bit more. Lofting ball up near the top. Ball loose. Look who comes up with it. Broderick to the top. Astida-Zaran has it blocked. Spartanburg Methodist able to control and kick it out the near side. Pioneers had a couple of opportunities in the first half. I mentioned the 2 Blazak shots that made Steph Barreras work, and well, just like Steph Barreras in the second half, those opportunities for Spartanburg Methodist don't seem to be appearing. Barreras out, Asmara Holmes in, the backup goalkeeper for the Titans, and not many chances here for the Pioneers, most of it because Eastern Florida State has continued to push and pressure offensively. Not a whole lot this team can really do. Here's a rolling ball out towards the near side, just saved. Back to Christina Early. Middle of the pitch. To the far side, here's Hargrave. They were looking for Hargrave once again, but this is Dorsett. Back to the near side, Early. Working the ball up the pitch, her shot errant. Make that her pass errant as she was looking for Kayla Menzel. She was the one in the nearest vicinity, that is. There's a long ball down the middle of the pitch. Jackson's going to have to come out and redirect it. Broderick running at it. And Spartanburg Methodist will change the point of attack. 12 teams in this tournament. We'll see the rest of the field tomorrow. Of course, 8 here today. The other 4 taking their day off on this first day of the tournament. Here's Cassidy Davis. Working right of the box. Center shot, deflected out the touchline. Corner kick coming for Eastern Florida State College. But you mentioned those 4 teams that have not played yet. Darton State, Lewis and Clark, Monroe, and Pima. We'll see all of them tomorrow open things up. Half of the teams today. All a day off tomorrow. They're the higher seeds like Eastern Florida State. Centering ball is played back out. Left-footed shot picked up by Jackson, and she's going to kick this one away. Fans, you can follow all of the action of the 2015 NJCAA Division I Women's Soccer National Championship live on NJCAA TV. Just go to www.njcaaatv.com to view live and archived video of each game. Relive all the exciting plays and great memories of this year's tournament by visiting www.njcaaatv.com. Go ahead online, enjoy all of the games from this tournament as we whittle our way down from 12 teams to 1 champion. See who's going to wear the crown for a year here. That'll be Saturday night, that title game. Saturday is 7 o'clock start. Teams very much to be determined. You're never quite sure what's going to happen in this kind of a tournament. I mean, a year ago, the heavy favorites were Iowa Western, if I remember correctly. They did not come away with it. The Reavers came up short. 18-10 left. Second half, final game of the day, 6-0 Eastern Florida. And Spartanburg Methodist trying to find some rhythm offensively here. Hargrave. Up ahead. And an errant touch. And that's going to be another turnover. They were looking for Guardado. Audrey Bone has come into the game for Eastern Florida State to play on that back defensive line. This one, left back for Eastern Florida, Helen Ramsey controls. Ramsey will leave this one back for Asmara Holmes with 16:40 to go here. This is not a single elimination tournament, as I mentioned. It's pool play. Winner of each pool will advance to Friday's semifinal. So a loss here, if your Spartanburg Methodist does not end your title hopes, it makes it very difficult. Spartanburg Methodist will play Pima tomorrow, and then a chance from there. If you beat Pima, you need some help, and what you need is for Pima to beat this Eastern Florida State team. Broderick shot, diving stop, Jackson. She's able to corral it. I'm telling you, Nicole Broderick wants to get in on the goal party here. 6 in for the Titans, and every time she's touched it, she's looking to try to put it in the back of the net. Rolling ball out the near side. Tossed back in by Aubrey Bone. Here's Helen Ramsey. To that far side. Controlled by the Titans. Broderick again fighting for it. Cannot get there. This is Lexi Garcia. Let back for Sierra Smith. Hargrave. Pioneers moving the ball cautiously. Have not had many opportunities on this side of the pitch. Here's Blasak. Hope Smith nearly lost it. Hargrave again. Back to the near side. They change the point of the attack. Jennifer Aceves, and it's lost. Kicked up ahead. Jackson's going to have to come out to make a play. You see the depth of this Eastern Florida State team. In the latter parts of these games, when you can bring in Audrey Bone and a few of the other players, Cassidy Davis, a Helen Ramsey, fresh legs, Kaylee Davis, another player who has spent some time coming off the bench for this team. Let's not forget Nicole Broderick, not a starter either. It was Bunny Shaw that got the start today. It makes things very difficult for teams that aren't necessarily as deep, because when you're bringing fresh players off the bench like that, it's hard to keep up with them. Here's Cassidy Davis now, has it knocked away. Here come the Pioneers. This one up ahead looking for Blasek, and it's too long as Mara Holmes is going to let this one roll. And Eastern Florida once again will use this defensive back line to change the point of attack. Here's Julia Hernandez, a pair of goals for her today. Lindo, be remiss if I didn't mention her as one of those reserves as well. 6 goals, 4 assists, very good off the bench this season for Jeff Carr. But you look at the top seeds that have played so far today, all very impressive performances. Butler, Iowa Central, Tyler, and Eastern Florida State, they're all top seeds in this tournament, the top 4. And though you see 6 goals on the scoreboard, Jackson controls for Eastern Florida. That's the most of day 1. Don't etch Eastern Florida's name on that trophy quite yet. Butler, Iowa Central, Tyler, all impressive. It'll be interesting to see what Darton State, Lewis and Clark, Monroe, and Pima look like tomorrow. Here's a long ball. They're looking on that far side. Perhaps an opportunity here for the Pioneers. Ball into the box, and this one stripped away. Guardado on the free run from Duncan, South Carolina. Couldn't quite get to it. 12.5 minutes left. Second half. But I was a fan of the way Tyler played. They moved the ball very well defensively. Left side, Hernandez nearly has it taken away. A pair of defenders with the slide tackle inside of the box. And this one back out to midfield and controlled by Arnella Kordick. A battle out there on that far side, and Isabella Burns battling with the defender, Lexi Garcia. They whistle her for a foul, and Eastern Florida State will have the free kick. Julia Hernandez will handle it. So wins today by Butler, Iowa Central, Tyler, and Eastern Florida. And in the final 11.5 minutes here, if Spartanburg Methodist is kept off the scoreboard, we will not see a visiting team score a goal here on day 1. Schoolcraft shut out. Laramie County shut out, Moraine shut out. Spartanburg has another 11 minutes left to work with. There's Christine Early to toss this one in. Early holds onto it, tosses to the near side. It's punched back to her. She's going to kick this one long up the near sideline. And out there hunting for it was Sierra Wilson, but couldn't quite find it. Pioneers control, long ball. Once again, Wilson in the vicinity. Maybe a chance here for the Pioneers. Across midfield, this one punched along. Here is a chance. Holmes coming out, and she's able to kick that one away. That was the best opportunity of the game, I guess you could say, for Spartanburg Methodist. And that was a ball laid ahead for Kayla McMillan, and as Mara Holmes just punted that one away. It was one ball that was loose in the box, for the Pioneers that they had a chance on and couldn't quite steer home. Let's take a look at this last one. McMillan on the free run. A chance. Was on sides. Holmes comes out, and that's a ball. If McMillan's a half a step quicker, she gets to it, maybe has a chance to get by as Mara Holmes. Couldn't do it. It's kind of been the night so far for this Pioneers team. As I mentioned, their first venture into the national championship tournament. Quite the introduction. Top overall seed, host team, 6 goals on the scoreboard from Eastern Florida State. Here's another long ball here. This a lofter over the head of Asmara Holmes. No call as the player went down, and so did Asmara Holmes. She slipped as well. And for Spartanburg, slow to get up. Now looks like Sierra Wilson taking her time. Yes, that last ball for Sierra Wilson, and she couldn't quite get to it, was upended. No foul call. And you can see a little bit of frustration from this Pioneers team a bit. Here's a long ball. Julia Hernandez pushing for it. Her shot wide left of the post. And she was whacked from behind as well. And Julia wanted a call, did not get it. And I don't know if you're going to get that up 6-0 with 8:21 to go in a second half. But she let that one fly and still almost snuck it inside the left upright. Let's take a look once again here. Long ball ahead for Hernandez. You can see the defender coming. And Julia in the box was just edged out. Really not a whole lot there. Looked like a play was made on the ball to me. And Hernandez couldn't quite still get it in there. Had the opportunity, Jackson diving, but no call. And Julia looking up wanted that, what would have been a penalty kick. The foul would have occurred inside the box if called, but was not. Ball flicked on, some contact. This one's called, and a Titan hitting the floor. A yellow card is going to go to Sierra Wilson. She's going to have to exit the game. And checking in is Lexi Garcia. That was Haley Cook that hit the turf for Eastern Florida. Lexi Garcia into the game. Here's Abby Camargo looking ahead. A little bit too strong. Was out there trying to find Isabella Burns. Couldn't quite do it. This one left back for Asmara Holmes. She'll redirect it out to Haley Cook. Brianna Camargo. Helen Ramsey. Back to the near side. Here's Audrey Bone playing off the bench. Abby Camargo had it knocked away. And then she is able to interrupt the next pass, take it away. 6.5 to go. Second half, that is. Brianna Camargo going to work. At the top, finds her sister Abby all alone in the box. Right side, her shot. That's going to find the back of the net. That's a goal. And Abby Camargo has her 9th goal of the season, 7 on the board for Eastern Florida State College. And it's 7-0, sister to sister. Brianna Camargo finds Abby. And Abby Camargo lining it up here as Jackson waits. We'll get to you in just a moment here, but Brianna picks up assist number 23 on the year, continues to set that school record mark. Goal number 9 of the year for Abby Camargo. That sister act continues to be one that Titan fans get up and applaud. And Eastern Florida continues to foil any kind of a plan from Spartanburg Methodist offensively on this third of the pitch. Let's take a look at this once again. Abby Camargo back up to the top, and her shot just pulls it left, and Jackson knew she wasn't going to be able to get there. Was leaning post to her left, the right of the shooter, and just couldn't quite get there. Guess you could say she was probably thinking that she was going to go right and instead went left and was kind of stuck there frozen. 5.5 to go here in the second half. Brianna Camargo. Cassidy Davis. Here's Abby Camargo. Pioneers control. In the open field, maybe an opportunity here for the Pioneers. Here's Garcia working with the left foot, trying to find some room here. Lexi Garcia to the near side. Two defenders converge on her. She's trying to buy the corner kick now and is stripped. And this one will come all the way back out. Controlled by Eastern Florida State and then knocked out of bounds.
Ball.
Last touch by the Titans. Head coach Jeff Carr looks on, the man in his 6th season. I bet he'd look nervous in a 12-0 lead as well. Always an intense guy that wants to win. Is the all-time winningest head coach in Eastern Florida State College women's soccer history, 71 victories. He's closing in on number 72, up 7-0 with 4 minutes to go here in the second half. And making the tournament, this national tournament, has not been enough for this team. Here come the Titans once again. The goal has been winning the national championship. It has always been winning the national championship. Jeff Garcia even gave a few of his players wristbands that said November 21st, which is the day that that tournament game will be played, the championship game. They have been thinking about that game Saturday night all season long. Now just a few victories away from getting there. Sarai Bowman can't keep it in bounds. Here comes Abby Camargo to toss it in on that far side. Headed by Bowman. Isabella Burns out there, couldn't control it. And this one will go back to Spartanburg. Sarai Bowman will toss this one up that far side. A battle for it. This controlled by Garcia. She put a little pressure on earlier, hesitated for a moment, and the Titans take it away. Bowman got caught looking ahead, was trying to find her teammate McMillan. And at that point, she was jumped by that back line. Left back to Ismara Holmes. 2:25 to go, second half. And this Pioneers team looks absolutely gassed at this point. Looking ahead for Cassidy Davis, that one too long. Two-minute mark here in the second half. You look at the schedule moving forward. Spartanburg Methodist will play Pima tomorrow, a day off for Eastern Florida. Here is Cassidy Davis, nifty move here. Keeping it across the top of the box, let back. Ball loose now, and it's controlled out by Camargo. Sent back to the near side. Here's Abby Camargo. Find Brianna. Back to Brianna Camargo. They're going to say she's off sides. A minute 18 to go. Pima will play this Spartanburg team tomorrow, day off for Eastern Florida State College. And Eastern Florida will take on Pima Wednesday. Cassidy Davis going to work. Little stutter step right side of the box. Good little crossover there. Trying to foul it up. She's upended in the box. No call. 56 seconds to go, and Laura Jackson will pick it up and kick this one back down the middle of the field. That pass just a little bit too long, and it'll be controlled once again by Eastern Florida State. Arnella Kordick to toss it in. Kaylee Davis at midfield. And back to Ismara Holmes. And that's going to pretty much bring us towards the end of our second half here as it's pushed out there. 5 seconds to go as Mara Holmes, the backup goalie, collects it. And that'll do it. Eastern Florida State College opens up their national title run with a 7-0 victory over Spartanburg Methodist, the Pioneers. What a performance out of the two Spaniards. Paula Astida-Zaran with a hat trick, 3 goals, now 28 on the year. Julia Hernandez adds a pair of her own. She has 24 on the season. Each Camargo sister picks up at least an assist. We saw some great play as well, top to bottom on this team, as Eastern Florida State takes the 7-0 win. Spartanburg Methodist with the loss falls to 13-8 on the year. The Titans are now 15-0 as they continue their drive to this national championship on Saturday, but still a long road to go here throughout the week. Our final, once again, 7-0. Full day tomorrow. We'll be back then. You're watching the NJCAA Women's Soccer Championships on NJCAA TV.